Hello, and welcome to your library orientation for your Kinesiology 171 class. Thank you so much for watching this video, and let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to do is open up a window to our library homepage. Here's the web address up here, libguides.citruscollege.edu/library. So you'll notice that there's lots of cool things that you can do here on our library homepage. You can see the hours that we are here in the library, which is Monday through Thursday from 7:30 in the morning until 8 o'clock at night, and Friday from 8 o'clock in the morning until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But we understand that you might not be on campus when you're doing your homework, and we completely understand. That's why we have this Contact Us tab, so you can get in touch with the librarian if you need help and you're not on campus. You can call us, you can email us, or you can text us, or you can open up a live chat window. These are all ways that you can reach out to us and get an immediate response. So hopefully you are able to set up your My Library account and you have done so before watching this tutorial. If not, we're going to go through it quickly right now. So the first thing you're going to do is go over here to Students and click under My Library account. It's going to pull up this page with instructions. What you want to do is click in the Sign In tab. Just going to open up a Citrus College sign-in page. Don't worry that you don't have a password yet because you haven't set up your account yet. So click Set Reset Password, put in your Wingspan number, your A number or your C number, and then click Request New Password. This will prompt the system to send an email to your Citrus email giving you instructions on how to access your My Library account. Now, if you're working off campus, which I'm guessing most people are, you will have to log into your My Library account in order to access any of the databases that we're going to discuss. This is because our databases are reserved for our students, are proprietary for our students, so we want to make sure that you have access to them. Luckily, it's very easy to create a My Library account. If you have any trouble with it, please do reach out and contact us. Okay, I'm going to go back to the library homepage, and I can do that by clicking this banner up here at the top. And for this particular class, I know that you're all working on a specific assignment. You all have this particular sheet, right? Well, the good news is that if you follow along with this tutorial, you'll have no problem filling in this sheet. So let's go ahead and get started. What I want to show you now is the guide that we've created specifically for your class. So if you go under Research Help and click Guides by Subject, then scroll down to the class that we're in, Kinesiology, and under Kinesiology Resources, it'll take you to this beautiful guide that we have created specifically for your class. So everything that we're going to cover today can be found in this guide. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to take a look at is print books. I'm going to click on the tab here, and it opens up a section for our library catalog. This search bar will take us to the library catalog. So I'm going to go ahead and type in my search topic, which in this case is stress. So I can see immediately that it pulls up 4 million results, which is kind of intense. And the reason it pulls up so many is that it is currently searching in libraries worldwide. Now we can certainly source things for you if you don't, the Hayden Memorial Library doesn't have what you need. But for the purposes of this exercise, I think we should start out by just sticking to our library. So I'm going to go ahead and check Hayden Memorial Library. And that takes me down to 427,000, which is still quite a few. And that's because it is showing me everything that the library has with the keyword stress. So if I only want to look for print books, what I will do is go over here to the Format side and click on Book. And then select Print Book. So now it takes it down to 334 results, which is still a lot, but not nearly as many as 4 million. So If I decide that I want to use one of these books, for print books, obviously you would need to come into the library, and there are a few things that you would need to know in finding a print book. The first thing is whether or not it's available, and I can see here by this little green check mark that this particular one is available. I would also need to know where it's located. So here I can see that it's on the second floor. The second floor is where we keep our Stacks books, which are the books that check out for 3 weeks. As long as you have a Citrus College ID, you can access our Stacks books. This also may say reference, which are the books on the short shelves on the first floor of the library. Those are for in-library use only, but you're more than welcome to come in and make photocopies or take pictures of them, whatever you need. It could also say reserve books, and what that means is textbooks. We do have a collection of textbooks available to our students. We don't have every textbook, but we have quite a few. They're available for in-library use only, and they check out for 2 hours with your student ID. So if you ever find yourself on campus and you've forgotten your book at home, or your friend has the book that day, come into the library and see if we have it. We're happy to help you out. Okay, so I would need to know if the book is available. I would need to know where in the library the book is, and then I would need this whole call number. The Hayden Memorial Library is on the Dewey Decimal System, which is the system that many public libraries use as well, so it's possible you've bumped into this. It's just a way of keeping like information together and keeping everything in order. Libraries love organization and keeping everything in order, so all of the items in this library have a unique number. Now, all of these numbers mean something, but we don't really need to go into that. All you would need to know is that if you want to find this particular book, you would need this whole big long call number. Because, like I said, like information is grouped together, so it stands to reason that if you just go upstairs and only have the first few numbers, you're going to run into a lot of books with the same number. That's great if you want to browse on a particular topic, but if you're looking for a very specific item, you're going to want the whole call number. Okay, so that is how you would navigate for print books here in the library. I'm going to click out of here now and go back to the guide, and then I'm going to click on the next tab, and I'm going to take a look at the eBooks we have available. Now, we have a lot of different ebook collections that we're going to talk about, but the first one I want to talk about is this Human Diseases and Conditions. So I'm going to go ahead and open that one up. I'm going to right click on it and view it in a new tab, just because I don't like hitting the back button a lot. It's just easier to open up new tabs. Okay, so I can see here Human Diseases and Conditions. It comes in 4 volumes, and they're in alphabetical order like most encyclopedias are. So if I want to look up stress, I'm probably going to want to go to volume 4 because that's S through Z. So I'm going to use my drop-down menu and do that. No, thank you. I don't need you to give you my feedback. And then I'm going to scroll down here, stress and stress-related illness. If I'm doing a paper on stress, that's definitely something that could help me, right? So Gale is a database that you're probably going to get very familiar with throughout your college career, both here at Citrus and as you move on. It's used a lot. The good news is that because it's used a lot, once you get familiar with it, you're good to go. You'll be able to use it in any situation. So Gale has a lot of great tools available to you. You can see that you can listen to the article if you don't want to read through the whole thing. It gives you all the information right up here at the top, the name of the article, where it was published, who wrote it, and then there's this sidebar here where I can do all sorts of neat stuff like highlight the article, send it to my Google Drive, send it to OneDrive, which you should all have access to with your Citrus email. I can print it. We do have free printing in the library. I can email it to myself, and I even have a citation tool up here. So if I click on this, Citation Tools, this is going to give me various citations. Now the default is MLA citations, and for this class we're using APA. So I'm going to click on the drop-down arrow, and switch it over. It's always important to cite your sources whenever you're using somebody else's information. And there are a number of reasons to do this, right? We do it because we don't want to get caught plagiarizing, because stealing is bad and will probably fail. We do it to give credit to the author for their work. We do it to continue the scholarly conversation. And we do it because our teacher says we have to, right? So Gale has given us this lovely citation tool right up here to make your lives easier. Okay, so I'm going to click off of here. So now what we're going to do is take a look at some other ebook collections that we have available to us. I'm going to look at the Gale Virtual Reference Library, but you can feel free to look at any of these. So I'm going to once again open it up in a new tab, and you can see that it looks kind of like the database that we were using previously, the ebook we were using previously. It is a Gale database. So what I'm going to do is put in the word stress. But I know that when I was searching for just general items in the catalog, just searching the word stress gave me thousands of results. And that's because stress is a really broad topic. So what you're going to want to do is narrow your topic down based on what your essay is about. If you are writing about the negative effects of stress on health, or negative effects of stress on sleep, or stress management, think of specifically what your assignment, what your paper is about, and pull keywords out. So I'm going to go ahead and do stress. I'm going to keep this Boolean operator here, and over here I'm going to keep this up as a keyword search. I'm going to take it out of document title. I'm going to do stress and health. Okay, so it gives me 1,100 results. Still a lot. So there are a few things I can do here as well. I can go back and add more keywords and narrow it down. This particular database searches encyclopedias, so I can take a look at what we have here and see if the encyclopedia that the data is in is something that's going to be helpful for my topic. Like maybe I don't need the science of technology and ethics, so I can skip that entry. But maybe the Encyclopedia of Mental Health is exactly what I'm looking for. You can also take a look at these little indicators here on the side. You can see that you can break it down by content level. So the little green circle is basic, the little yellow square is intermediate, and the red triangle is advanced. You can also take a look over here and see the different publication titles. So you can say, okay, I definitely want to learn about human diseases and conditions, or no, I have no interest in that. Or maybe you just want to see, okay, I just really need a topic overview. That's the only thing I want to see right now. I don't need biographies or anything. So let's click Topic Overview. There we go, and it takes us down to 648, which is much more manageable. So let's take a look at this one right here, the Gale Encyclopedia of Mental Health. So what this does is it pulls up an article that looks really, really similar, right, to what we saw in our last ebook. All of these nifty little sidebars are the same, so I can do all of that. And then I can scroll through this article. It's like having the encyclopedia right in front of me. So I can go ahead and scroll through it. I can see pictures, descriptions, and I can even, as I read through this article, I can pull out other keywords. So relevant subjects connected to my article, right? Like, oh, substance abuse or disorders, stress is related to substance abuse, post-traumatic stress, adjustment disorders. So this is going to, the more research I do, the more I'm able to narrow my topic down. It's sort of, you start out with something really broad and then you get more and more narrow. Now you want to avoid painting yourself into a research corner, as it were. You don't want to have 4 million results. You also don't want to have one. You want to have a good sampling of results to do proper research. Okay. So in addition to print books and eBooks, the library also has an extensive collection of article databases, one of which is EBSCO. EBSCO is a fantastic resource for all different kinds of topics, health, science, literature, humanities. It's great. It is all there. So we're going to go ahead and do the search multiple databases. And what it's going to do is pull up multiple databases, right? That's what it does. So the default ones that are checked are the ebook collection, master file, and this first one, Academic Search Complete, which is a wonderful database and really, really comprehensive. So if you wanted to stick with that, that would be fine. If you wanted to scroll down here and see, what else do I have? What else can I put in here that would, what other databases do you have that would appeal to my topic? Like maybe Health Watch. Maybe we want to take a look at that one. Or Health Source. We have a bunch of health databases available to you. So if this is what you're studying, this is a good way to go. I'm going to start out with just these. So what I'm going to do now is hit continue. Okay, now that I've selected my databases, I can go ahead and put in my keywords. So let's start out by just putting in the keyword of stress. If you have other keywords that you want to put in that fit better with your topic as well, please go ahead and do so. So when I put in stress, it gives me 326,000 results, which that's a lot. You probably don't have time to go through all of that. So there are a number of ways we can sort of take this down. We can add more keywords, or we can look over here under the Refine Results sidebar here. Currently, my default search is set to full text. If you're in the library, that is the case. I don't know if it's the case if you're working off campus. I do recommend making sure this box is checked, just because it's a little bit frustrating to find an article that you think you might want and find out we don't have the full text. We can certainly get them for you through interlibrary loan, but if you don't even want to mess with that, just stick with full text. The other thing I'm going to do is click here on scholarly peer-reviewed sources. Now you've probably heard this phrase, scholarly journal versus popular journal, and the difference is really scholarly journals are like big research papers. People who are experts in their field write about the topic they're an expert on. It's very well researched. They go through a lot of review process in order to complete the paper and to make sure that it's up to snuff. Academic articles tend to be longer than popular articles. They don't have as many pictures, unfortunately, but the good news is the information is really, really good that you are going to be getting in these articles. So I'm going to go ahead and check that. And then you can see down here that I'm currently searching from 1898 until 2018. That's because that's how long this database spans, which, for some things, that's great. Maybe you want an article from 1898. But in other cases, you might want to consider shrinking the time that you are looking in. Think about, we think about stress very differently in 2018 than we did even in 1990. So I imagine going back to 1898, you're going to get a lot of different results. So what I'm going to do is take the little slidey bar, and I'm going to pull it over, and I just want to see things within the last 10 years. There we go. Okay, so I can see things in the last 10 years, and I can also take a look at the different types of results that I have here as well. So I can select things based on that. And I can select things based on their subject, language, or the various databases that they've come out of. Now another thing that EBSCO does really, really well, I think, is give you different subject terms. Because we've talked about how you have to create a search, right? This is something that you have to do, and you have to sort of be an explorer and try multiple combinations. A lot of research is trying and failing. So as you continue to try and build your topic, obviously it's going to sort of spell itself out to you. It's going to reveal itself to you. But we do that by adding more keywords. And EBSCO, it really gives you a lot of help here. It offers the subjects right down here in the article. Like here is what the author thinks their article is about. You can also take a look at the different subjects here and other words for the same thing, right? So, oh, okay, maybe I want to look up stress and research. Maybe I want to look up stress and statistics, job stress. These are different keywords that can help you to find better articles. So let's take a look at one of these articles. Let's find something. Here we go. Yoga for post-traumatic stress disorder. So maybe I want to take a look at this. Maybe this ties in really well to what I'm doing. And obviously I'm just scrolling through here because I'm not writing the paper. So I can click on any article. But if you are looking through this and thinking, I don't know, I'm still kind of overwhelmed by all this, EBSCO has this great feature where you can hover your mouse over this little piece of paper and the magnifying glass, and it's going to give you some information. It's going to tell you who wrote the article, when they wrote it, what the source was. It's going to give you some more of those great subject headings that we talk about to help you format your search. And it's going to give you the abstract of the article, which is really helpful because the abstract is a summary of the article. So if you find yourself with pages and pages of search results and you're not quite sure where to start, take a look at the abstract. If the abstract looks like something that will fit into your topic, click on the article and start going through it. If it doesn't, don't worry about it and move on. So we're going to take a look at this particular article. So I clicked PDF full text, and what that does is bring up the full text of the article. It brings it up just like I had the journal in front of me. So again, the nice thing here too is it gives me the abstract, it tells me a little bit about everything. Very, very helpful, right? EBSCO also has this sidebar over here, much the way Gale does. It's just not spelled out as well, where I can print it, I can save it to my Google Drive, I can email it to myself. If I'm feeling really ambitious, I can create an EBSCO account and put it in a folder. And this little yellow piece of paper is my citation tab. So if I click on that, it pulls up all the different kinds of citations that we have available. So for this, we want APA. Now, I always caution students when using these to be careful and really check for spacing and capitalization and things like that, because citations are very, very detail oriented. And the computer is just that. It's a computer. It only knows what we tell it. So if somebody puts something in that's not correct, it is not changing. You know, it's not looking and making sure that you're getting the best citation. It's just putting it in based on whoever entered it. So maybe they entered it wrong. Maybe they didn't capitalize it properly. Maybe they left out punctuation. What you need to do to be a responsible user is make sure that you check everything. So it does give you a nice APA, way to start out, but make sure it's really correct. You don't want to find yourself losing points for something silly like you didn't capitalize something. Okay, so we're going to go back over to the guide now, and we're going to take a look at the media that we have available here. So in addition to an audiovisual department, we also have several streaming film and documentary databases available, including Canopy and Films on Demand. So let's take a look at the first one. Let's take a look at Films on Demand together. So this is our Films on Demand database. I'm going to go ahead up here and type in stress. Again, you'll probably want to put more keywords in because stress is a very generic term. Like right away it gave me, 5,000 results. But we're going to take a look at this first one. So the work-life balance, success and happiness in an always connected world. So I can click on this and it's going to open up the video for me. And there are a lot of things I can do with this video. I can watch it right here on my computer.
The constant connectivity between work and personal life often results in high levels of stress, a lack of sleep and exercise, and a negative effect on diet. According to a survey by the National Life Insurance Company, 4 out of 10 U.S. employees consider their jobs to be very or extremely stressful.
And you can see that the video started at the segment that I wanted to, which is great. It gives me segment 4:202. It's 2 minutes and 2 seconds. I can watch the whole thing here as well on the side. I can click on the various sections if there's something else I'd like to watch. And Films on Demand gives me a lot of things that I can do with the video to have it help me. I can share it, I can email it or send it to Google Classroom. I can add it to a playlist if I have one of those. I can create a custom segment, which is really nice. Again, this does start out right at the stress segment, but let's say I only want to use 30 seconds of that. I can use this tool to cut around it and get the perfect 30 seconds to put into my presentation. I can embed it. Once I do that, I can take this and I can put it into whatever my presentation tool is, which is really helpful. And it also offers me a citation section, right? So if I click here, I can get APA because we are going to cite everything we use that was created by somebody else, even if it's a video. I've had students say to me, well, what if it's a tweet? Yes, even if it's a tweet, you need to cite it. What if it's the Bible? Yes, even if it's the Bible, you need to cite it. Always err on the side of caution, right? So that's Films on Demand. Let's go back to the guide here. And the other database that we like to recommend is Canopy Streaming Video Service. So when we open that one up, there's a lot of different ways to search here as well. We can browse, which you can do in Films on Demand as well. If you just sort of want to browse by topic, you can do that. I'm going to go ahead and search by keyword. Okay, so I searched stress. It gave me a lot of good stuff, and I'm going to go ahead and click on the first one here. Good stress helps you handle all stress. So once again, I have the video right here. Click play. It should stream like normal, hopefully. Now this one gives me the whole documentary as opposed to just a section of it. But that's okay, because I can create my own clip if I want to. I'd have to create an account, but that's pretty easy to do. I can create my own clip if I so desired. I can also share this to my email or social media. I can do a lot with it there. It does offer me the embed code. If I want to take this and put it into a multimedia presentation, I have that available to me. And if I click on more here, I can see that not only can I get the transcript, I can also get the citation tool. So it gives me my APA citation. Again, we're always going to check and make sure that it is good, but it's definitely, a good starting point. So heading back over to your guide here. The next thing we're going to do is take a look at the citation site, because we've talked a lot about citing, right? And why we cite, how we cite, and I know that it can be a little bit overwhelming. I completely understand that. Your class is using APA format, so this takes you to our APA format page. We have handouts available for you in the library and here on the site as well. So if you click here, it's our APA citation guide available to you, which is going to give you all sorts of good ways to kind of walk through things, learn by example as well. We also have APA formatting basics, so you can take a look at that. Just basic things. Here's how to format the paper, here's how to do it properly. Again, if maybe you are better at learning by example, I know I am, we have our sample paper here. So you can see that at the title, the header on the first page is called the running head, then it goes down into the title, And the thing that is a little bit different, there's a lot of differences, but in the APA format, your works cited page or your list of sources is not called works cited as it is in MLA. It's called references in APA. So subtle but different. Now, one of your questions on your worksheet says, when is the next APA workshop? And we're not actually offering in-person workshops this semester, but we have created a workshop video that you can view at any time, done here by yours truly as well. So please feel free to check that out at any time. It will give you lots of good resources and good tips on how to work in APA style. If you have any questions ever about APA, about research, about any of it, please know that you can always contact us here at the library. Again, you can call us, you can email us, text us, open a chat. You can even hit us up on social media if that's what you prefer. We are here to help you succeed, and we really want you to do the best you possibly can. So please never hesitate to reach out. Good luck this semester, and have a great time.